Don't you wanna feel whole? Don't you wanna feel?
Let's get into it. We have a new launch from ODENS, and it's a holiday launch, and the palettes are so blissfully wintry, Christmassy, holiday-y, my favorite kind of thing. So I'm excited about this launch. So there are 4 palettes launching. 2 are coming back from last year, and those 2 that are coming back, they sold out so fast last year and then literally never came back. So if you missed the launch from last year, the Christmas Eve palette and the Merry Christmas palette are coming back. But then we also have 2 new Christmas palettes coming out this year, the Hey Reindeer palette and the Snow Dream palette. So for today's video, grab a drink. I am going to be swatching some glimmery, shimmery shadows while sipping on a drink. So this collection launches November 10th at 9 a.m. You can use my code morganturner. I'm pretty sure it's going to save you 10% off your purchase. It is an affiliated code, just so you know. So each of the palettes are going to be $43.90 each, or you can buy the whole bundle of all 4 palettes for $149.26. Whereas the full price of those would be $175.60. So you are saving about $25 if you do buy that bundle. But let's go ahead and take a look at the 2 newest palettes first, and then I'll do a super quick swatch of the palettes that are coming back. So the first palette that we have is the Hey Reindeer palette. So cute, there's little reindeers everywhere. And then this is what the palette looks like. It's an interesting mix of colors. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how cohesive this color story is, but I did use this one in today's eye. And I'm really curious to continue swatching because honestly, you guys, the shimmer shades weren't giving today. But maybe it was just ones I used. And then the other one is the Snow Dream palette. This one's really fun. I've been doing so many green looks recently that I stepped away from using this one, but just know I really wanted to. You know, so I'm going to create some more looks with this. So if you're new to my Swatch and Sip series, we just grab a drink and we swatch these eyeshadows. So let's get into it. Starting off with the Hey Reindeer palette, I'm going to swatch these first and then we'll get into the tutorial of today's look. So like I said, I was not impressed with the quality of these eyeshadows in application. So we're going to go like this. Reindeer, Sleigh, Greetings, and Eggnog. Love the names of these. So Reindeer, I used it today. It took a lot of layering to get it to the pigment that I want, and the swatches are reflecting that. Ignore my disgusting nails. I was supposed to do them, but I was too lazy. Then we have Sleigh, which is a light gold shimmer shadow. It says online, capturing the gleam of a sleigh ride under the twinkling stars. Oh my god, all of these have the cutest descriptions. Greetings here is a matte coffee hue. It has a more pink in there, I would say, but it says warm and welcoming, like a cozy Christmas greeting. I'm not gonna say all of the descriptions, but how cute. And then Eggnog right here is a yellow shimmer with multicolored sparkles, as festive as a glass of creamy eggnog. I love eggnog. I just wish it wasn't so unhealthy. Okay, so now we have Christmas ham, which I used today. I used cider today, and I used wreath. Wreath disappointed me, so we're gonna take a quick look at that. So Christmas ham was kind of chunky on my eyelids, but once you blend it out with a finger, it's definitely better. They describe this as a silver eyeshadow that sparkles. It doesn't read silver to me. Cider is just a really light baby blue. It almost is like whitish, and then Wreath is a light purple shimmer with multicolored shimmers. Yeah, it's swatching as not pigmented as it looked on my eyelid. There was not much color base here. And you guys know with Odens Eye, normally they swatched delightful and delicious. I'm not getting that vibe today. This one's nice. Holly is a matte gray. Definitely has some blue in there. I'm very curious how this red is. I haven't applied it yet. Candy Canes, Ivy I used a little bit today. This shade looks stunning. That's Christmas Stocking. I don't think that one's going to disappoint. So we have a matte brick red, a pink multi-chrome. So this one didn't have as much of a base as I liked as well. I have it in the inner corner of my eye. It is very pretty and reflective, but I did wish it had more of a pigmented base. Ivy applied really nice. It's a matte gray blue shade. And then Christmas Stocking. Okay, now this is what I'm used to from Odens Eye. This is what I was expecting from all of the shades above. Then we have Belle, Fireplace, Presents, and Snow Wish. So these definitely has some depth to them. So we have a gray gold brown shimmer. This looks really pretty and up my alley. Then we have just this orange shade, a retro green shimmer with multicolored sparkle, and then here's that dark brown. They call it a matte earthy brown, and these darker shades are definitely giving me more, but these lighter shades at the top, they just weren't giving me what I feel like Odens Eye normally gives me. And I feel like you can see that in the swatches too. I don't know. I'm going to quickly take you to the tutorial. You'll see that the mattes worked out really nicely, but the shimmer I was a little lukewarm about. And not only that, this isn't my favorite color story. To me, it's just not as cohesive as some of the other ones, but I'll let you guys take a look. I did not expect to end up so pastel-y today. So I'm going to start off with Cider right here. And I'm going to put this in the inner corner. You can see this one's really, really bright. Honestly, it would make a really nice eyelid color. We're just focusing that there, but of course I want more blue. So I'm going to go into Ivy right here. And I'm going to blend this into the center of the crease, like so. I'm going to take the first brush that I used and I'm going to blend that out just to give us a more seamless blend. And then I'm going to go into Reindeer, which has an embossment of a reindeer. And I find that this one doesn't give crazy pigment. It takes a lot of building up. I mean, you can get there with this palette, but I wish it had just like a little bit more pigment in this color. And so this is going to be my outer corner shade, and I'm also, just while I'm at it, gonna take it over the outer third of the eyelid, like so. Blend if you need to. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of Snow Wish right here, and I'm just using a tiny bit right here in the outer corner just to create a little bit of a dark shadow. All things considered, with this formula, one thing I need you to note is without any edits right now, for the whole matte look, I am under 2 minutes. So these shadows just are really easy to blend and layer. You can get it done in no time. Time to start layering the shimmers. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like the shimmers that I chose, but I'm just gonna be repetitive here. We're gonna use Rephr, which to me does not have enough pigment, doesn't have enough base color. I'm not used to that from Odens Eye, if I'm being 100% honest. This shade's a little weak. You see what I mean? It's just not as impactful. Hopefully when I get to swatching the other shades, it won't be like that. And then we're gonna go into Candy Canes. And this one as well, very pretty, but not enough base pigment for me. This feels better than Rephr, but I wish it had a stronger pinky base color for the look that I did. And then I decided I want to play with another color, so I went into Presents right here. Well, I'm going into Presents. And I'm going to pop this in the center of the eyelid to get a pop of blue. Okay, and then on the lower lash line, I'm gonna take Reindeer, and I'm just gonna put this literally all over the entire lower lash line. And then I'm going to take like the tiniest amount of Snow Wish and just blend that in the outer quarter of the lower lash line. I'm going to take some of Candy Canes, and that's going in the inner half of the lower lash line. And then I'm going to finish off with Christmas Ham right here. It's a little bit of a flakier, chunky shade, but I'm just going to use that to brighten a little bit underneath. We got a lot going on this eye. Okay, I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup now. Sip break. Let's go into the Snow Dream palette here. This is the one that I'm more attracted to here. It has more cool tones, but it also has reds as well. I mean, you can't get any more warm tone than that, but it's definitely like a paler palette. Let's take a look here. So we're going to start off with Boots, Celebrate, Feast, and Hugs. This is what they are giving me on the finger. This one right here on my pinky. I'm having trouble showing it. Looks like it's going to be gorgeous. So Boots is a gentle, warm coral shade. Not giving me much. Celebrate is a vibrant purple shimmer. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, I love that. Feast they describe as a warm, light coffee matte. And then the last one, Hugs, is a tender pink shimmer kissed with silver sparkles. It doesn't really read pink to me whatsoever. It looks more like a champagne shade. Frankincense, this looks fun. Goodwill, Merry, and Ornament. Then here's how they're looking on the fingers. I really like the way these colors look. So we have a holographic silver. Okay, this is kind of insane. It's definitely messy. You should see the flakes. But wow, very textured. I still have like a bunch left over on my finger. Wait, you can't see. Holographic. Legitimate holographic. Whoa, okay. That's insane. Oh, it looks crazy on my finger. I think it'll be really messy to apply is the problem, but wow, okay. Goodwill here is a delicate pink matte. Got a little bit of that holographic shimmer in there. We have a light green shimmer. Not pulling super green here on me. And then we have a subtle green gray matte, which that didn't swatch so great either, but it's better with the second coat. Look at this. This is with that first swipe still. I wonder if this is gonna have trouble like sticking to the eyelid because I'm really having to work it into the skin. Okay, let's work our way into the next 4 shades. Ooh, Sweater looks cool. Guests and Tradition. So Snowflake is a serene light matte green. Sweater here, ooh, that's really gold. That looks a lot more gold than it does in the pan. It's because it's a brown gold shimmer is how they describe it. Then we have like a true kind of apple red. And then to finish us off, Tradition here is a copper red shimmer. That looks beautiful. And then the last row here, we have Magic, God, Jewel? I don't know. Tinsel, this one looks fun, and then Garland, which are looking like this. Okay, let's see. Magic is a deep gray purple shimmer. It looks right up my alley. Then we have this one, which is a rich chocolate matte. Tinsel here is a vibrant green super shimmer. Ooh, it almost has a pink shift to it, if you can see that. Oh, my arm is getting tired. And then we have like a light yellow matte here. That's Garland. And this color story is definitely more cohesive to me. Definitely very Christmassy looking. I think I like this color story better than the first one. This one's just kind of random to me. I do also feel like the Snow Dream right here swatched much better as well. And I've only done one look with these two palettes, so there's still a lot to be tested, but to be honest, I was not in love with Hey Reindeer. I think Snow Dream I'm going to end up liking a little better, but these two palettes in particular don't have a lot of depth to them either. Overall, color story wise, just in general, these aren't my favorite launch from ODENS. They don't speak to me as much as normal, but I did want to share the Christmas palettes from last year. I have the ones that came out last year. These color stories, I felt like, one, they have a lot more depth. So if you have a deeper complexion, you're going to enjoy last year's a lot better. I feel like the color stories were more cohesive. The shimmers had better quality to them. I'm going to quickly swatch these just so you can see them on the arms. We're not doing like a swatch and sip session, but I just prefer last year's. Let me show you. Okay guys, so you can see this is the Merry Christmas palette. Swatched completely different, I felt like, than the two new ones. Has so much more depth. The shimmers give so much more. Last year's was so much better, and I did feel a couple shades between last year's Merry Christmas formula and this year's. I do feel like last year's is a little bit creamier. The shade that I noticed felt different. This shade from last year's has more fallout and is a little bit more creamier. The red in this year's is drier, but that actually might help with application. But I did want to point that out, that I do feel like there are a couple tweaks. But for the most part, this palette is just better than this year's, I think. Okay, let me show you the other one. And then here is the Christmas Eve palette. This one is very blue here. Oh, I have the plastic on here. But you can see it's very blue and cool toned, and yeah, complete 180. And I even swatched this year's version or batch just to make sure I wasn't crazy. And yeah, they're still so much more pigmented. So you're still good to buy the new batch of shadows from last year's palettes. They're still gonna be more pigmented. Okay, let me take a sip really quick because quite the peculiar launch from ODENS Eye. So these two new palettes, I like them, they're very pretty, but the formula just seemed off. I wasn't in love with the color stories. You don't get a ton of depth with these. And it's just weird that I'm saying that because normally when it comes to ODENS Eye launches, they're always one of my favorites of the month. I always recommend them. I always say they're a great price for what they are. You know, I have nothing but praise for these palettes. This is the first time in a long time where I feel like they took a back step a little bit, because I've been talking about how with every launch, the palettes are getting better and better. I don't feel that way about these. However, this launch is not a loss. If you like those color stories, I mean, absolutely go for them. I still need to dive into Snow Dream because the colors still look very pretty. So we'll see. But if you don't have Merry Christmas or the Christmas Eve palette, these are some of the best palettes that ODENS Eye has ever launched. They're fun, they're pigmented. I think they have a better formula for some reason than these two new ones. The color stories are more fun, especially for those of you who have deeper complexions. I'd by far recommend these over the two new ones, especially if you didn't get your hands on them last year. If you got your hands on them last year, obviously you don't need these, but these are the ones that I'm really excited to be relaunching. The other two, meh, gotta be honest here. So anyways, that was my little swatch and sip of the two newest ODENS Eye palettes, and then a peek into the two that are relaunching. Let me know, are you picking up anything from this launch? If you are, use my discount code morganturner for 10% off at checkout. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.